everybody, I'm Hadar. I'm the executive chef for the U.S. Consumer here in McCormick. And today we're going to be baking red velvet crinkle cookies for this week's Cookie Jar Friday. Red velvet crinkle cookies are so holiday worthy. They have that snowy kind of feeling. They're so ooey gooey in the middle. They kind of like doughy but crispy on the outside, and that's perfect for the holidays. And you actually get that really nice color from the combination of cocoa powder along with red coloring. So we're gonna just go ahead and make them, and we're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna love them. So to start, I have the flour already in the bowl, and we're gonna be combining all of our dry ingredients first, and then we're going to go to the wet. So to this bowl of flour, I'm going to be adding baking powder and some salt and just lightly mix them. And now I'm going to set this aside and going to be moving to beating the butter along with some sugar. I have 1 stick of butter that's already kind of soft, and I'm going to add my sugar to it, and then we're going to start beating it together. So I'm using a hand mixer, but feel free to use your stand mixer or whatever you have at home. Okay, this looks awesome, so I'm going to add my eggs now. And I'm going to keep mixing until I have something that is well incorporated. Great. So now I'm going to add some vanilla extract to this. It's going to make it so holiday worthy and so delicious. About 1 tablespoon. At the same time, I'm going to also be adding 1.5 teaspoons of this red coloring. This is half a teaspoon, so I'm going to add 3. Okay, we're going to keep mixing. Okay, so this is really nice and bright red. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take the wet ingredients and pour in the dry ingredients. And before I do that, I'm going to add my cocoa powder to the dry ingredients, lightly mix it, and then add it all in. Okay, ready? Okay, now I'm not going to go mix it again with a hand mixer. I'm just going to very lightly use my spatula to just work everything in together. And you're going to start seeing that really nice deep red velvet color just start to pop up. It smells so good. It smells like vanilla and cocoa all at the same time. Here. Okay. If you're using a stand mixer at home, you can definitely just keep beating it in the mixer. At this point, I just prefer to kind of fold it together, but it really doesn't matter. Whatever feels more comfortable to you. Okay. Okay, so this looks great. Now we're gonna put some plastic wrap on top of it and let it cool for 4 hours. Now the main reason is we want the gluten to kind of relax so that these cookies are doughy and cakey versus chewy. And then also another plus is for the flavors to kind of marry together. And at the same time, we're getting the fat to kind of like be colder so that the cookies won't spray too much, which is also something that we want from these cookies. So let's go ahead and put them in the fridge. So now that the dough has time to rest, we're going to scoop out our cookies, roll them in the sugar, and then place them onto the baking sheet. Now, what's going to happen, the reason that we're going to have that crinkle effect is that once we have these kind of like expand during the baking time, it's really going to be, okay, so I'm going to do that again. So what's going to happen during the baking period is that these are going to expand a little bit. So you're going to be left with those little, like patches of snowy sugar. And that's how you get that crinkle effect. Now you want to give these a nice roll so that the sugar will stick. Sometimes, some of the sugar will come off during the baking period, so that you kind of want to give it a nice coating. Plan on making a couple of batches because these will spread, so we don't want to crowd the baking sheet. We want to leave enough space for these to have their own, expanding area. And don't worry about perfect rounds. It'll all come together nicely. So now that the first tray is done, we're going to pop it into the oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to let it stay there for like 12 minutes until they're nice and spread, and then we're going to take them out. Okay, so these are done. We're going to allow them to cool completely before we transfer them to a serving plate. Thank you so much for baking along with us today. Be sure to tag your cookies on social media with Comfort and Joy 2022. Thank you again.